All right. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement, still moving. Subscriber die trying. You see the thumbnail. So, what does gender fluid parenting look like? So, a few days ago, excuse me, go to my son's scrimmage. I'm late, they start early, whatever. But so I hear this screaming, screaming. I'm thinking like little girls are playing, right? Like I think a little girl, like how little girls scream like that, a high pitched scream, and I'm like, this kid's running around crazy. It wasn't a girl screaming; it was a kid in football uniform playing, and every time he got caught, he screamed like 5-year-old girl. And I'm like, wait. It spawned the topic because I started thinking to myself, when people are so concerned about being gender neutral and gender fluid and, everything is okay and a guy can be a girl and a girl could be a guy. But the problem lies in this. There is no base. There's no foundation. See what I'm saying? The gender roles and the gender norms are based in how boys and girls work. So if you decide to parent like that, what you're trying to do is make something natural for one gender unnatural, and make something unnatural natural. So what does that look like as a parent? Because what happens when you want your boy, who you want to be gender neutral, is more girly, but then you want him to be a boy, and you want your girl, who's more boyish, you want her to turn around and be a girl or a girly girl. What happens when that happens? Basically nothing, because you taught them it all goes together when it doesn't. So, and the other thing I thought about was selfishness, because what I started thinking about was parents are pushing gender fluidity onto their kids as if their kids asked for it. And what I mean by that is you're not asking these kids what they want, but you're actually, train a child the way you would want them to go. So you're training them up to be gender, quote unquote, fluid, but you're more concerned about that than, say, maybe they have an interest in science, maybe they have an interest in animals, like maybe they want to be a fireman or a veterinarian or, an astronaut or athlete. You're more concerned about their gender fluidity than their dreams and aspirations in life. So it's like, so is this one of those things where this is your wheelhouse? So you can only parent them in your wheelhouse. And your wheelhouse is, for some odd reason, gender issues. And then you got to go back to the idea that if you're having all these gender issues, how you mess around and have a kid? You know what I'm saying? So what exactly, did you have a kid in good faith? Or did you have a kid with a plan to, when I have a kid, I'm gonna get this kid and I'm gonna do this with this kid because this is what I want? It's like I don't trust it. I really don't. But what does it look like? Like, what happens when these kids grow up, become adults, and then they go, nah. Like, because, people used to, back in the day, they used to talk about if your kid came out of the closet, they'll disown them. Or if your kid, I should have just said the first one because the first one was far more prevalent. If your kid dated outside of their race, if your kid came home with somebody black, you're going to disown them. But in this scenario, if your kid, came back like in the same sex, you're going to disown them. So what happens when these kids come back and like, I don't want to be fluid, What are you gonna do? You gonna disown them for that? You know, because this is all new. This is all, like um, this is all a process. We're not gonna really see the end game until 5, 10 years from now. And you can't. And at that particular point, I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be worse because instead of teaching the child skills, life skills, you taught them gender fluidity, or you taught them to help around the house, but you never taught them how to maintain the house or get the house or get an occupation that can actually get a home. Like, you never taught them all that. You never taught them finance. You never taught them budgeting. You never taught them anything but do these chores, or anybody could do these chores. You could do it too. It's like, I think it's just badly placed. And then when people look at the kids sideways, like, you never taught them that. Just because you taught gender fluidity doesn't mean that somebody of the opposite sex will want to date that, or somebody within the same sex will want to date that. See what I'm saying? So it's just silly to me. But tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.